Today we're going to learn about rational exponents. For any non-negative real number, b to the 1/2 power is equal to the square root of b. Now why might this be the case? If we had b to the 1/2 multiplied by b to the 1/2, this would be equal to b to the 1/2 plus the 1/2. This is simply the product of powers rule, which states that if the base is the same, you can add the exponents. And this would be equal to b. Similarly, the square root of b times the square root of b is going to be equal to b, because two square roots, when multiplied, cancel each other out. So as you can see, in both cases, b to the 1/2 and the square root of b both make up half of b. Now, when we refer to square roots, in actuality, when we say the square root of b, we mean the second root of b, which would look like this. So this is equivalent to b to the 1/2. Now, what would it mean if the root is the third? What this is saying is that three numbers are going to make up what's inside the root, 27. So in this case, you have to find three numbers of the same value that equal 27. Let's start with 1. 1 times 1 times 1, that's 1. 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8. 3 times 3 times 3, that's 27. And so we have our answer. The answer is going to be 3. The value of 3, when multiplied 3 times, is going to equal 27. This is referred to as an nth root. Depending on this nth root, you have to find a number n times of the same value that's going to equal what's inside this root. Next, we're going to learn about b to the 1 over n expressions. So this is a b to the 1 over n expression. In this case, n is equivalent to 3. Now, whatever value of n this expression has, that determines the nth root. So we can actually rewrite this as the cubed root of 125. So as you can see, because the value of n is 3 here, then the 3 is going to be transferred over to the left-hand side of the root symbol. And so we do exactly what we did in our first problem, and we have to find a number that when repeated 3 times makes 125. We already know that 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, so let's continue from there. 4 times 4 times 4 is equal to 64. 5 times 5 times 5 is equal to 125. And so we have our answer. It's 5. Lastly, we have b to the m over n. Now, as you can probably guess, the value of n here is 3. And so we can rewrite this expression here as 3 root 64. Now, what about the value of 2 here? Of course, the 2 is the value of m. And the value of m is actually going to be the exponent. So you take this expression and raise it to whatever value of m we have. M being 2. It's going to be to the second power. So how do we solve this? We find a number that when multiplied 3 times makes 64. And we've already established that right here. Inside this parentheses, that's going to be equal to 4. Squared is 16. And so this is our answer. So whatever the value of n is going to be the root. And whatever value of m is going to be the exponent.